Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to my channel and to Mixed Media Frenzy. That's where we all take the same sketch or layout and use it as inspiration to create our own. And this is the one we're using today, and it's by Lisa Moen, and it's Lisa's Scrappy Hideaway. LisaScrappyHideaway.blogspot.com. And it looks kind of familiar to me. I remember doing trees and blue in the middle not that long ago. Our inspiration one, though, didn't have the trees and stuff. I had put it there because I'd seen a paper that Dorothy had in her kit. I don't think I've seen her use it on a layout, but I'd seen it in her kit, and I thought, oh, I'd like to do that today with the mixed media. I am using watercolor paper, and I did not gesso it. And this is Powder Blue by Mr. Huey's. And I did spray the paper first so there'd be more water on there. And I forgot to do my modeling paste with the stencil beforehand. So you will see me, well, I had to let the blue dry so I could put this on there. And then I'll put some more blue on later. And the stencil I used is a really old Heidi Swap one, I think. And there I am spraying water on there again because I want the watercolor to kind of flow, and I will dip my brush a little bit more in the water to get a little more water on there even after I get started. I'm using that lightest green in the paint box or whatever it's called, and I am going to add some of the, well, kind of a bluish green, kind of like bluegrass, and add that to it and bring out some little bit different shade. I don't want all the trees to be the exact same shade. And there I went to do it, and it was way too blue and didn't have much of the green at all in there. So I just used that napkin and dabbed it up just a little bit. Yeah, I didn't need to get rid of it all because it kind of created a little bit of a shadow down there at the bottom. So I didn't mind a little bit of it being there, but I had way too much to start with. And I'm just going over a couple of the trees to make them darker and, adding layers on here. And I decided, even though the inspiration piece didn't seem to have grass coming forward, I was going to put a little bit on here. Well, maybe a lot, but I'm light-handed with it. Yeah. It looks darker right now than it will be when it dries, but I'm going to add more. Yeah, looking at it right now, I am going to add more. And here I just decided I was going to use the bottle and my brush to add different shades of color to this blue because as it was dry, and of course it was getting lighter, and when I use it for droplets on a layout, they're pretty light. They're not very dark at all. And I wanted different shades in this blue. I didn't want it all one shade. So I'm adding, well, quite a bit more blue on here, straight from the bottle, just because the other way was a little harder. I would have had to pour some out and all that stuff again. So I thought, I'll just use it straight from the bottle. I'm wanting a little darker anyway. And I have water on my brush, and I did spray some on the paper. But I'm pretty sure that was probably absorbed by then. I'm sprinkling some green, and this is Cash Money. I think it's what it's called, Mr. Huey's. And so it's a little bit darker, so I'm kind of sprinkling it all over the trees and the grass there. And because, like I said, when you put that powder blue on there, it dries light. I used Dilution's London Blue to put some sprinkles on there. And now I'm using the Dilution's white so I can put white on all of it. And I won't have to put any splatters on later since I've already got some on there. And yeah, it looks like I'm putting a whole lot of that white on there. I might have got a little carried away with it. No, not really, because I'm looking at the layout and I'm not seeing that much because I cover up too much of it to see it. I did get my paper so I could make my title, which I'm almost going to forget. I'll be doing the layout and I'll start to put, well, I had stuff laying under the photo and I was going to get ready to glue it down and remembered my title and that it needed to go there. I copied the title that's on the inspiration layout. You know me, I like long layouts. I looked at that and I thought, oh, I like that. So yeah, I copied it. I'm adding extra things to the layout. The original don't have as much, but y'all know I like more. So I'm using that tag. I thought I needed at least 3 things on there with gray, but what do? I put one of the gray things on the tag. Yeah, so it's kind of sort of 2 then, but I don't think it's that noticeable because, well, the frame on the picture's got some gray on there, so maybe that counts. I put on this one, it says good times together because those are my grandsons and they are together. And I'm going to just put that tag over to the right hand side. Like I said, I'm going to cover most of my mixed media up because, yeah, I'm putting more stuff on there. These are from L Studio, and I think they're probably a few years old. I know I haven't bought anything from there in a while, maybe 5, 6 years. So, yeah, they're that old. But I was going through the drawer and I thought, oh, I think I'll pull these out. They might go with my layout. And yeah, I decided to use the gray. The other colors, not so much. And the only reason that went was because of the striped paper. And that paper is an old 8x8. Oh, Glitz. It was by Glitz. 8x8 paper pad. And I am doing some layers behind these phrase stickers. And that one is, the just finished, was these special moments. And then I wanted more. I'm only going to use 2 of the 3 that I'm going to mount on the black, but I did want more. And the only reason I didn't use the other one is because I remembered my title, but I would have used it otherwise. But I'm just going to start laying everything on here. And then, of course, once I lay it on there and get it kind of together a little bit, I'll get to actually do some clustering, which I like to do. And see that right underneath the photo? It's not going to stay there, and I'm not going to figure out no place to put it on the layout after I do the title. I mean, there just wasn't really hardly any place left. And I really liked it. It's always, and something about joy or laughter. I don't even remember now, but I really wanted it on there. I guess I'll use it on a different layout though. And oh, that's that ribbon from Hobby Lobby, and it kind of reminds me of sticks. That's why I like it so much. So I have some with, this is the moss one, moss mesh ribbon. And the other one is, I'm not sure what it is, but it is mesh ribbon. And I like it on there because it kind of, looks like sticks with the rest of the stuff. So I like it on the outdoor ones. I got my tag where I want it, but I will trim down the twine that's on there so that it won't be sticking up quite so much. I felt like it was sticking up almost to the top of the page, but as you can see, it's really not. But doing the layout I did, so I grabbed the scissors and clipped probably half of it off. I had some die cuts already done. They were left over from last year. Yeah, I did a whole bunch so that I could use them as I went for autumn and fall layouts and winter. And that basket, I misplaced it. I couldn't find it. And it was sitting inside of another basket that had the adhesive in there. Well, I got a new thing to put It's a rack. It's one of those origami racks, and it's got metal baskets, and they slide in and out. And it was bigger than what I had right next to me, so I ordered it off of HSN, and I love that thing. But I had took and put all a bunch of the adhesive in the drawer, so I didn't go over to the basket. Yeah, and then I decided I needed a certain kind of adhesive, and there's the little basket with all the die cuts, just in time for autumn. Yeah, pretty thrilled about that. I am on the original. It just has a die cut flower, ephemera kind of one, but I wanted to make a cluster instead, so that's what I'm doing. It says enjoying every moment, and then the little one says good vibes, and you'll see it's on the right now. I am going to move it after the video is done and I'm taking the pictures, and I'm just going to move it a little to the left so it covers up the bottom of that leaf. I'm showing here my letters that I already cut out, and it's Tim Holtz Tall and Thin, or maybe it's Sizzix Tall and Thin, one or the other. Key Sizzix and it'll still come up. I think it'll probably come up with Tim Holtz on there too. And then the other one's a very old Sizzix Sizzlet set, and that's the cursive one. Well, it's called Script. And my title is like the original, Good Times Are Even Better When They Are Shared. And you can see my two grandsons there, and I took that picture, and Casey's got his tongue out and everything. I have scrapped this before for one of the boys' albums, but I needed to do it for the other one. And of course, my daughter, I'm sure she'll want it too in an album. So you might see it a few times before I get done. But yeah, I'm doing the two boys first, and then I'm going to maybe do mine next. Maybe. But yeah, once I put the title on there, it took up quite a bit of space on the layout. Of course, it does in the original, and I really like that too. Now, the flowers, all of them are from a punch, an old whale punch from Stampin' Up, and it has 3 flowers that you can punch out of it. And then I took a 3/8 inch circle punch and did the centers. And I did all them one day and put them, those are all extra actually. I'm pretty sure that's what they're from. And put them in the little flower container. And I thought, well, I need to pull out of there. It's like full. It's one of those things you put 4x6 photos in, but I've got flowers in it instead, and it is full. So I went through and pulled the autumn looking ones. And yeah, they're just as cute as they can be. I love that punch. And let's see, I'm still putting the flowers on. Some I'm putting on foam tape, and some I'm gluing straight down. And I think when I get done with that, that's all I have to do, because I have no sprinkles to put on there. But yeah, so I want to mention to look down there below. And there will be links to the other gals that are doing the Mixed Media Frenzy today. And I don't remember who picked this layout out. I can't, I'm trying. I know who picked next week's out, though. Becky picked it out. But I'm not sure who picked this one out. But I love that layout. I think it's so pretty. And yeah, oh, I went and got one more branch, I guess you would call it, from a plant. It matches the other, only it's different cardstock. And I thought, well, it's kind of close. It's just a little bit lighter. It's more along the same shade as it. So I'm cutting it apart and putting it with each cluster. So each cluster will have that little bit of lighter green. And yeah, and I think that's it. I think that's the last thing I do to the layout. And look, the original looks a lot like my layout, my finished layout. Of course, the title might be part of that. But there's my little cluster down there on the left. And this is the one with the tag. And I did put some watercolor on top of the tags and stuff on the white part just to give them all a little bit of green. And um, yeah, and I even put it on the word photograph there. And I put a flower over the S because I only had one photograph and it said photographs. And yeah, there's that big title. I love big titles and long titles. But if you leave a comment below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you who already are, thank you so much. But I know that there is plenty of videos out there to watch this month, so I am so glad you took the time to stop and watch mine. But have a happy, scrappy week. Take care and stay safe. Bye.